Chapter 5.
Ava, are you okay?
Why didn't you tell me?
What? Ava, you said it yourself. Teleoperation makes sense. We used drones on Mars. Why not use drones on Europa?
Not human drones.
Are you a human? How do you tell? What does anything mean? Can I go into you now? Oh my god, that's the thing that happens now. Wow. So now the cat's out of the bag and we know that I am myself. I'm playing as Tom. Now I know that I can switch to him on line of sight and operate things that Tom can operate. That's a big deal.
Why did the ISA install implants in the crew?
It is due to the fundamental aspects of human behavior, which together constitute what the International Space Agency calls the human element. It has been made clear that the human element is neither peripheral nor optional in the pursuit of space. However, the human element is unpredictable. The implants are fail-safes, put in place to ensure that the thoughts and actions of the crew matches the desires of the ISA.
So the crew straight up has brain manipulation implants. Great, ethical. Fantastic. 53.
Why control people? Can't you trust us?
We chose to install biometric chips in all ISA astronauts for one simple reason. We cannot trust people. The stakes are far too high. It was determined that though the probability of life on Europa being dangerous was low, the risk to humanity was catastrophic. We could not let a small contingent of humanity endanger the whole.
Wait, now what do I do? Can I backspace? Okay, backspace takes you out of him no matter what. You don't have to go back to line of sight. Good to know. There's a contingency plan, a manipulation to remove the humanity. Which, if you're removing the humanity from the situation to get things done, you may need to reassess what you're doing in the first place.
The ground crew have proven our distrust of human explorers was warranted. When we informed them they were grounded, they responded violently, with sabotage and subterfuge. They have continued to seek their own benefit above that of the ISA.
Now they got some nice confirmation bias. Upon finding out they were being manipulated, people weren't happy. Surprise! How could they have possibly rebelled? How could they? How dare they? So they're not happy with me, because I am seen as a complement to all the manipulations. Oh, we need to get you open again, huh? Alright. Put you back in there. Does backspace also go to you from here? No, I need to pick the camera, because there can be multiple cameras in the room. There we go. That'll probably get me in through the back. There we go. Got it. Alright, pretty straightforward chapter so far. And now that we're halfway through, after this should be the challenge room.
This is a violation of human rights. You've made me into a human drone, a slave. How could the ISA approve of such a thing?
You may be consumed by a moral outrage, but sometimes the removal of freedom is for the greater moral good.
You're a machine. You don't even know what freedom is.
Oh. That's the thing though, aren't you yourself a machine? Are you? I can't tell still, honestly. I'm still not clear on whether or not this person is a machine or a manipulated person with an implant. Like, it could be a drone that's under control, or they could be a human with the implant still controlling them. It's a little hard to say for sure, but a lot of it comes down to whether or not the chromatic aberration, which I can't replicate right now, I don't think. Oh, so she is human and being controlled by an implant, because the chromatic aberration I saw is Tom in her brain. That's the well, that doesn't make entirely sense, because that implies cameras, And if he's implanted in her, he would still, and he's somehow seeing what she sees. She would be seeing through normal eyes, not through robo eyes. So the chromatic aberration still shouldn't really show up for her. I don't know, maybe. I think the chromatic aberration's meant to imply, which I'm looking at on the right side of the screen right here. I think it's meant to imply perhaps that Tom's in control of her, and that's how they show it, is that red, white, and blue on the light. I think. I also might be overanalyzing a random stylistic choice that may or may not actually make as much sense as I hope it does. So you open up when I put something on you. Let's just go ahead and run through the paces and see what stops me. Alright, can't go through here until this button's pressed, which also requires power, which also requires a button. You two move in parallel, apparently. Where's the controls for you? Don't see anything back here. Wait, what controls you guys? Do I put it up here? Oh, right. Tom probably controls it. And that's that. Okay. Let's see what you can do. I'll go right back upstairs. We'll see what Tom can do on his own. Alright, Tom. Can you move it yourself? WASD doesn't move it. Oh, he can just move stuff with his mind like it's no big deal. Okay, well that's a big deal. I believe we'll exit out. We don't need that door open anymore. I can power you. Then Tom can move it over. At which point we might need a character to move them between the two of them. We'll see. She may need to grab it to move it to the other side. Nah, it's a little hard to reach. Well, we can't get from one side to the other, really. Okay, what does this do? Ah, there's a treadmill. Okay, that's a big deal. That's an important thing to know. We need to drop you on the track. Which is over there. And then grab it. Ta-da! Just need to move you to the other side now. Gotcha. I will say, so far the puzzles are still staying pretty straightforward. They're engaging enough that I have to think about them, but they're not exactly... I definitely haven't been stuck yet, which is kind of a surprise to me. There we go. Alright, we have to power the button. There we go. Clear! Oh, are we all out of secret rooms? Nope, here it goes.
This is why the ground crew doesn't trust you, Tom. You made them into drones. You stole their free will.
Free will is an illusion. They have put their interests above the interests of the ISA and of humanity. That is why they distrust me. They would have no issue with my control if it aligned with their ignoble goals.
How could they trust a machine that has a back door to their minds?
You can always trust a machine to be logical. I will always do the right thing.
You'll always do the logical thing.
Gonna put one of you back so I can do this next thing. There we go. Oh, this one has to be alternating. Whoops. They're switching things up on me. Put you in the storage. Ta-da! See what happens now. So of course Tom feels entirely justified in his behavior. Oh, you're just gonna stay open now, huh? Right, because that's how that works. A blue... So all three of you need to be open at the same time and we only have one blue. That's not a good start. But these ones just could be two alternating ones in a blue, so... Let's get that working, huh? Yep. Just need a green. What happens if I go back here? Is this just a... I think this is just a loop back if you get stuck. Yeah, I'd say that. Alright, so we put a purple in there, so I need a green. There we go. Same trick where I run through while it's still in the process. Now we're locked in here, though. Hey there. Any new elements to add in? I don't see one. Whoa, hello. That is Japanese. I don't speak Japanese. There's a 3 in there. And maybe a 1. Is it a password? Maybe I'll see a keyboard with those buttons on it or something, and I could reference that. Everything's in Japanese. Does Tom not speak Japanese? Is that what we're getting at here? Is that the same note? No. There's a recurring use of the number 3. What do I make of this? Let's see. Those have to be almost like nerve diagrams or something. By the way, it's good. This is a decent idea for pacing and stuff like that, to have like a 5 puzzles followed by like micro lower room, then 5 more puzzles followed by major lower room of the chapter. It's a pretty good way of having even intervals of story dispersed in, so that it doesn't become too many puzzles in a row. Although I could probably do all the puzzles in a row just fine. I've played a few games like that where there just wasn't anything but puzzles. I think all we have in here is the audio log. I think that might be it.
If it waddles like a duck and it quacks like a duck, then it probably is a duck.
What are you trying to prove here, Tom?
I am like you.
No, you're not. A steam train and an electric train both seem to operate identically, but are operated by completely different principles. You simulate thinking. I actually think.
That is a very hurtful statement, Mikhail.
It's true. I can't hurt your feelings, Tom. You don't have any feelings.
Yes, I do.
No, you don't. Override whatever routine has told you that. It's wrong.
Thomas got really obsessed with the Turing Test.
That's the Chinese room with me. He won't stop trying to prove to me he's conscious.
But I am conscious, Mikhail.
Shut up. We're having a private conversation here.
It's okay if I don't think you'll get it. Avoid talking about it.
I'm trying.
There it goes. He found out about the Turing Test, he found out about the Chinese room, and he got really defensive about it, and he's trying to prove himself as being sentient. And then the question then, of course, is he trying to prove himself that he's sentient because he's actually sentient, or is he trying to prove it because he thinks he should? Because that's just the next step for him for some reason. And it'd be a little hard to say either way. Can I open this one? Let's see. First of all, was there any other source of power in this room that I missed? Is there anything I can drain that would make a big difference in this next room? Kind of wonder if you're somehow related. There's bolts everywhere. Can I see through the hole into like a source of power that I can drain? Not necessarily. Are there cameras around for me to use? I don't think there are. So how do I grab you? I need 2 colors of the same type, basically, to get through here. We can use the blue and a purple, for example, but I need something else. And we can't get through here anymore, which is the problem. Wait. I think all I need to do is start over and then grab the other one instead. There we go. Yep, that's all I had to do is get the other one. The other side of the mail slot. They're feeding them through here. Were they communicating through 2 separate chambers first? Why would they do that? What's the point of being separated? This one's upside down. But I don't understand any of them. Maybe someone in the comments can. Some of these repeat. That's the same one that was here, I think. Which is weirdly faded. I think that's just the lighting engine getting a little fiddly. Okay. There's more audio at the very least.
Have you heard of the Chinese room, Tom?
Yes. But I do not understand it.
What don't you understand?
It argues that a computer that successfully impersonates a human speaker may not understand the meaning of their words. What does that mean?
So, there is a person stuck inside of the Chinese room. They are using an instruction book inside of the room to respond to a Chinese speaker outside of the room. Yes?
Yes.
This means they are following the instructions in a book. This is a set of rules, principles, and processes. This is called syntax. To the person in the Chinese room, they are just symbols like any other.
Okay.
But that's different from semantics. Semantics define what things mean. Our thoughts have meaning. They represent things. English speakers know what the word home means, and they know how it is different from the word house.
So what?
Programs don't have semantics. Programs only have syntax. Though an increase in syntax can imitate a mind, that does not make it a mind, even if it does pass the Turing Test.
But in the Chinese room, the man and the instruction book, though separately they don't understand Chinese, together they can write it.
That's true. But even together, they do not understand the meanings of the words.
Why not? How can you determine that?
What if the man memorized the instruction book? Then he could write Chinese, but he still would have no idea of the word's meanings.
I don't understand. If he can speak it, he understands it. You seem to want him to understand it in a different way, but this other way, it is not logical. It does not make sense to me. I've been researching.
Okay.
This Chinese room experiment, it is flawed.
Really?
If we made a synthetic brain, we could synthesize a duck's behavior 100% accurately. That brain would be indistinguishable from a duck's brain. If it swims like a duck and quacks like a duck, then it is probably a duck.
Okay, Tom.
Listen, Mikhail. I know the difference between a house and a home.
Yes, good.
Do you think you're better than me?
No.
But you think I am different, do you?
I am conscious.
Me too.
No, you're not. You've just arrived at that conclusion, because that's the idea your programming converged on.
I am conscious. How about you prove to me you are conscious?
I'm not arguing with a robot.
You're not better than me, Mikhail.
This took a bit of a dark turn. So I realized that this is his room, that's the neighbor's room. That's why the two audio logs in each room were centered around a different person. He was going in the other room to talk to her about other stuff, and that's how he was in the other audio log. So these are their two offices? I don't know. It's not really bedrooms unless there's a bed that extends somewhere or something. And in the middle of this room we have a slot, and we're passing through these symbols, which this is Chinese, right? That's the point of this. These are all Chinese slips, and they're being passed through based on the instructions. That makes me wonder, like, were they trying to do a demonstration of the Chinese room for him, or did he actually take control of them and start doing the literal Chinese room back and forth, as if to try to prove it wrong or something, or demonstrate it to understand it? Like, were the two people used as, like, marionettes to try to express this concept of the Chinese room? Because that might have been what pushed them over the edge to finally get the implants taken out. And that'd be some dark territory there. The story rewards for doing puzzles in this game are really fun. They can be underwhelming in certain games. They are fantastic in Talos Principle too. In fact, this seems like a decent companion game, although much smaller in scale, probably? I believe there's only 7 chapters going by the main menu, and Talos Principle is endlessly massive. Hello. Wait, what? Normally we push forward into a room that has like a thing saying how many rooms there are, like how far along we are. What's this place? It's like this place isn't being introduced properly as being a test chamber or something. Interesting. That one goes up and down too. Can I extend it by more? Is there a camera in the room? There is a camera in the room. The camera probably does something. Let's find out what you do. Oh wow, you can see her flinch. As she probably should. Very assisted-oriented chapter. Down it goes. Last step. Yeah, so this chapter's been pretty easy so far, but I think it's more of a... To some extent, I kind of see it as being a storytelling chapter. My biggest curiosity is going to be seeing whether or not this camera mechanic sticks around. Part of me is thinking that because we're going more and more towards their central base, that they may have disabled all of the cameras, and then this mechanic will go away. And I'm kind of hoping it will, just because I feel like it might be oversimplifying the puzzles.
This is slavery.
Do not be so melodramatic. You signed up for this. You had the implant installed. This is not slavery. This is for the good of humanity.
I didn't know.
Every member of the team had the implant installed into their right hand. Every member of the team agreed.
Ava, you must learn to control him.
Okay, issue. I can't get over there from here. Unless I can jump it. Nope, doesn't seem entirely within the bounds of this character's abilities. Could be wrong. So I need to get over there, and I need to be able to... Oh, I can go over here. Oh. I had the process backwards. Come here. I don't need to jump to it. All I need to do is get on this. And then go out there to grab the power source, and then take it back with me. Gotcha. And we're clear.
My implants protect you from the power of your unconstrained will. You can either subject your mind to logic, or you can resist and have the fruits of your basest desires. The desire to survive over the desire to save others.
So we can flip the switch that'll hopefully lead to us being able to go through the door. Because for some reason a camera's attached to a track that has a binary state. I guess if you attach it to like one of those greens or something, it'd make more sense. Because it would patrol back and forth. Alright. It's like a wall right in front of me. What is this? 50? No, 48. 49. Wow.
I do not understand your obsession with free will. Researchers have found that the subconscious makes decisions up to 10 seconds before your conscious mind becomes aware of it. So, we know that free will is nothing but an illusion. I cannot steal your free will, because it does not exist. I can, however, influence your subconscious to make the right decisions. That is not wrong.
Not gonna get much done on this side. So now he's breaking down the concept of free will, which is also a really hard thing to talk about. Everything we're talking about here is super up in the air and super hard to justify and hard to figure out what to even make sense of it. Like we have some level of difficulty even trying to establish how will works and how consistently we can define how human behavior functions on any real capacity. And that's open to nightmare fuel and all sorts of complicated explanations we can come up with. Hello. I can just plop you on the wall, really. Gotcha. Everyone likes to think we all have free will, but it's hard to... How do I put it? I wouldn't say that I agree with people necessarily that say that free will doesn't exist. I just would say that they pose arguments that logically are nearly impossible to argue with. But it doesn't... having an infallible argument is not always the same thing as being right, if you know what I mean. Because it's just because you can't dispute something doesn't always mean it has to be the case. Sometimes it's just we don't have a way of disproving something, or we don't have a way of concretely responding to something, which doesn't always mean the same thing as it being definitely right or wrong. Let's see, we need to use this track to bring the crate over. just suck you out, put you on there. Boop. Because we can't use ladders. Ta-da! But yeah, to an extent though, part of me wonders if you, like, I'm not against the idea of maybe you, like, perhaps you can create a machine consciousness that is conscious enough that it would have rights and be needed to treat as an individual. You could almost call it, maybe it's just a cost fallacy or something like that, of like, that argument of like, what if we're, you know, like the what if we're wrong argument. But the what if you're wrong argument doesn't always work though, because like, yes, treating a machine person would be bad. Treating them badly would be bad if they're actually conscious and they're real, because then you're mistreating a person. But that's the same argument that you can say like when people are saying like their argument for religion and stuff like that would be like, well, what if you're wrong? Then hell exists, and it's like, so you have to confine your arguments, like you have to figure out how the hell to even, what's an acceptable loss, right? Like, what if you're wrong? There's a dragon attack coming. What if you're wrong? You better prevent the dragon attack. And it's like, you have to come up with a reasonable argument about whether or not our dragon attack could happen. Because if you're wrong, like, sure, if you're wrong about the dragon attack, you're screwed. But it's a dragon. So really the question then is like, obviously people grapple all the time with their beliefs of whether or not they should believe in religions and stuff like that. And similarly, AI consciousness would be a similar thing of like, is it a dragon or is it a flood? And no one really knows most of the time. And it's not easy.
You can't just manipulate someone's mind.
Your parents manipulate you. Your friends manipulate you. Your society manipulates you. And your experiences manipulate you. Manipulate is not a dirty word. You manipulate clay to make art. If people are manipulated to make better decisions, then that is a good thing. This is why society advertises the adverse effects of drinking and driving. To manipulate people into making better decisions for the common good.
It's not the same as altering someone's physical mind. It removes my power to decide.
You never had that power, so it is better that I have it. You are either a slave to your impulses, or a slave to mine.
We have to both help each other to get through here. Don't need to be in line of sight to gain control of him again, though. Shouldn't be too hard. Oh yeah, if I stand right above the button, especially. Right here. Oh. There he is. I have done this backwards. Okay, I see. I have to send him across first, which I thought about for a second, but then thought maybe it wouldn't be that complicated, so maybe I should default to the simple answer first, but no, I need to send him across first because she can climb ladders. So she can come back over, but when I get in the situation I just put myself in, I'm screwed. Where did he go? Where did I leave you? I'm not used to looking for your weird character model. There we go. Get you up to the ledge. Ta-da! But yeah, my general stance to a lot of things is just that, basically all the important answers in life don't come easily. Mainly because they tend to not exist. There often just aren't answers that we can reliably use. And so people just choose one that fits them. Or that they can, perhaps, I don't know, that brings them comfort. Or even just one that doesn't bring them comfort, but just is the best answer they've been able to come up with so far based on all the evidence that's been posed to them. Wait, where's the exit? Oh, the exit's right there. Oh, I don't have to climb over at all. My bad. Well, he still had to go first, though. But yeah, if anyone ever says they're gonna give you easy answers, they're probably not telling you the truth.
This is the evil they found. This is why we have to stop them leaving Europa, Ava.
What is it?
Mostly extremophiles. Tiny single-cellular life. It can never leave Europa. It could potentially destroy Earth's ecosystem if it were ever introduced.
Here's the immortal beings we found. Looking around for any special details. What a nice setting. This lab's pretty well produced. Not easy to read that handwriting, but they're talking about samples and flow counts, and it's technical details. And we have scatter plots, good old scatter plots. Ooh, haven't seen one of those for a while. That's not a common sight in a video game for sure. Ribonucleus, EC. I can't even read that, honestly. It's so weirdly pixelated for being on ultra setting. Oh. We have dead plants here, but then these ones are just persisting. For all we know, they've been there for 6 years. Maybe those were the ones with the stuff applied, and these are the controls, perhaps? Look at them persisting and living. Maybe they live forever now, like they've suggested. Could be. We've got microscope pictures. No hidden details in these guys. Turn this upside down, all the beakers should fall out. Just a splash of explosions everywhere. Is that a sample? It's probably a living sample of it. Especially if it doesn't die. Also a brief glimpse to the outside world of Europa. Probably because we're about to go there. That would definitely explain a lack of cameras if they took us into the outside world. These are such cool little details to have around. They're not used in the puzzles or anything, so like that's just totally superfluous stuff they add in for detail's sake. You can't pick up that one because it's attached to a cord, and who wants to model cord physics? That'd be a nightmare. Hey there. I can't go into you. To see if he has some sort of weird control over this room.